All right. Hey, 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 welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, I'm Brother Brian here on KIEZ, the voice of the community. As always, we're going back out to the community, but this time we want to skip over a couple of states and reach out to the west side, see how my west side familia is doing. A lot of you all may not know, I used to live out there in the AZ, and it is hot, it is prosperous, things are taking place, but hey, I got one of my cousins on the line here, Mark Bradford over there in Arizona. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for the opportunity again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, I tell you what, one thing, when anytime there's an opportunity in life, we have to actually focus on it. And once we focus on it, we have to become serious about it. The reason we got to become serious about it, because as we've seen all our entire life, more so last year, tomorrow's not promised. So we got to make it happen.
That's right. Like it's
Now,
your last day.
that's right, Mark. They tell me that you over there in the real estate industry over there in Arizona.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With Century 21, Arizona Foothills, one of the top brokerages in Arizona, in the Valley, actually. Not just with sales volume, but also with our quality awards. So yeah, we're doing great things out here in this booming market.
Well, tell me a little bit about, I know you're a family man. You work in the community by giving back. You're a Christian. The whole family has been from a spiritual aspect in working in the community for a number of years. So you come from some good genes, and I also know that you came from the military, a couple of different branches. You came from the Marines, then you served your time serving the country in the Army, or more so the National Guard. Is that correct?
Yeah, I spent about 8 years in the National Guard until I went full-time, served in Iraq, Afghanistan, a couple times. So yeah, it's that my background has certainly been a more disciplined background, obviously, especially with my my Christian roots. So that's where I get a lot of the hard work from, So yeah, absolutely. Been a part of this community. I grew up here in Phoenix, so I love giving back to the people, especially when it comes down to buying that house, because that's one of the biggest decisions we're ever going to make. That's the biggest investment most people will ever make. So I would love, I just really love to help people out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I'm over here in Louisiana, so the market itself is a little bit different. So we want to learn a little bit about the real estate industry, and also how someone can reach out to you, because people are making decisions now to move from the south to the east to the west. And the beauty of it is that in the past, we will always live and work based on our occupation because of the jobs that we have. But now, since people are able to work from home, they can actually live anywhere. And so we want to find out about the AZ market itself. Now, after you came out the military, you end up working in the banking industry, and now you decided to go into real estate. What was your ultimate motivation to send you down that direction?
I'll be honest, it was the money. Just because I really enjoyed what I was doing at the bank, but I love to be challenged as well. And obviously I get that from the military. I love that challenge. So once you reach one level, you kind of want to just step it up and be challenged with a new industry. So sales was another industry, especially real estate in particular, just because that was handling, when I worked at the bank, I handled such large accounts and learned to deal with that clientele. I realized how much opportunity was out here actually slipping through my fingers. So I wanted to be a part of the game.
Okay, that's fair to say. Well, let's break that down a little bit, because what I'm hearing is that in your past, working in the community, serving your country, working in corporate America, and also you're saying the money. So pretty much you actually attain a physical responsibility, not only for yourself, but also for the community. And why not be compensated for your craft? Because we all have to get to the point where we are working, but also being compensated a fair, livable wage. Is that pretty fair to say?
Absolutely. One of the biggest issues that I see I've seen in the community, I've seen a real frustration where people feel very undervalued, and they're looking for more opportunity. And I think we all kind of want to walk around with our head up. And just being an example, like I have sons, so to them, I want to encourage them that, the sky's the limit. You can go out there if you apply yourself and work hard, learn a skill, develop yourself. Personal development is obviously the number one thing that we have to do. But if we don't see people do it in our community, we won't know that that opportunity is available. So that's kind of one of the other motivators that, that put me out there. And obviously, we always want to continue to challenge ourselves. Life is short. I never felt like I wanted to be stuck in one environment, especially once you've attained a certain amount of skills and you do well. You want to challenge yourself, and that's just me. I live for the thrill. So.
Okay. All right. Sounds fair. Now you say you had sons. How many? I think you had 3 children, correct?
3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. Daughter's in the middle. My baby boy's in 8th grade, so they're about to all be in high school. So I'm about done.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think when I moved to Arizona, that's when I was reacquainted with you and the family, and you were in high school at that time, South Mountain High School.
Yes. I come from the Valley, and I remember that's when I initially got my the entrepreneurial bug. Listening to you and to your advice and about life and a perspective. And sometimes, like I said, that's why I want to do it, because I had somebody else let me know that, hey, man, there's something else that you can do out there. We don't all have to go, work at the steel mill, go work for Ford or manufacturing. Not there's anything wrong with that. But I think God has given us all talents, and it's selfish for us to not share those. Yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Definitely giving back to the community. So let's talk about real estate itself. Now, a lot of people may it's only 2 options, 1 or 2. You can rent or you can purchase. Now, sometimes individuals, they're renting due to they become so comfortable, or they become complacent, allowing others to provide something for them. What are some of the benefits if we want to make that that switch over to home ownership? What can it bring for us?
Well, one, there's a great tax credit that you're going to be able to get and use and utilize to kind of improve your income per annum if you purchase versus renting. When you're renting, you're buying a house for someone else. When you make that decision to purchase, you're investing in yourself and your family. So it's a very important decision. And I'm glad you actually brought that up, because I know that a lot of times right now there's an affordability issue with purchasing homes, and a lot of people are finding themselves having to live with relatives, having to rent, and now what they're seeing is even the renting market is expensive. So it's really a decision that people have to make. Do you want to invest in yourself or in someone else's future?
Yeah, because that's what I did myself. You bring up about affordability. I remember when I reached out to Arizona, I wanted something different. I wanted to come and check out the family, but also to see what can I do in Arizona to make a difference. And then I moved in with the family, because me, you, and Bernard, we all shared 1 room. Yeah. And so I didn't move out for a few years until I was able to stack away my first $10,000. And when I stacked away my first 10,000, now I said, okay, I got a base. Now I can move out, give them some more room, and branch out and see what I can do. So as you mentioned, affordability, what plays I guess my question is, there's so many factors that play a part in affordability, because there has to be discipline, there has to be a financial awareness, and 3, a goal. Do you ever find people who come to you and they're just totally lost, and you have to educate them on the home buying process?
Absolutely. And actually, I really encourage people to just to speak with me and work with me through the long process, because what happens often is they reach out to a realtor and they don't get that help that they need. But I'm the type of realtor who's more invested in the person instead of the deal. So if you're not ready or prepared, I don't want to force you out there. So I'm going to encourage you to save that down payment. I'm going to encourage you to work with some of my credit specialists to work on improving your credit. Also with lenders, I have clients right now who are working with my preferred lenders, and my partners help them better understand the lending process. And that's a big part of it, because people don't know what they can afford and they don't know how to improve their debt to ratio income. And this is something that I usually, push on to my partners, so that way we work all together for the clients and their improvement.
Okay, I appreciate that education aspect, because that's where most of us fall short at. We start watching so many movies or television shows. We see the big house, and we see from the movie start to the movie ends within 2 hours, they went from rags to riches. But in real life, it takes a lot longer than that. And we have to have discipline. We have to have, when it comes to major purchases, we have to have money in reserves, because the banks look at pretty much the 4 C's. Let me see if I get them right. I know one is the collateral, the person's capacity, the person's credit, and the person's cash. Some people think they could just go in and buy a home with no savings, but this is how you are evaluated, and it's so important to become disciplined. Now, can a person just go in with a credit, let's take it, a credit score of less than 500, a no money in reserves, and buy a $250,000 home overnight?
Back in during the housing boom, the bust, that's what people were doing. And that's why we had that bubble, and it caused issues for everyone. And they end up losing their homes and going into foreclosure. What I do that's different this time around is I like to educate you from beginning to end. Because what a piece of misinformation is that people often believe that if I get my credit score up, then I can go and get a house. And there's, like you mentioned before, there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. You got to have cash. A lot of folks don't know that we need to be able to track your work history, things like that. And that's why I classify my clients that I work with, whether short-term or long-term, on how much information that they first re-educating and then getting them on a plan for success. So I have a list of vendors and partners that I work with that specializes in each one of these areas, because what's important is you don't want the guy who works at the grocery store to work on your car. So the same way, you don't want your realtor, some will, to be your financial advisor. You want to, the way I do business is I put you in contact with the experts. That way, and we coach you, and it doesn't cost you anything. So our job, of course, is to get you to success, because it's devastating, because everyone wants that dignity to be a homeowner, to have that American dream. We've all thought about it, we've all pictured it. So it's important to have the right person to work with, not someone to say, okay, well, you don't qualify, and you never hear from them. So that's just one of the things that we do here at Century 21 Arizona Foothills.
All right, Century 21 Arizona. Hey, we're talking to Mark Bradford. He's a realtor, one of the better realtors over there in Arizona. And the reason we reached out to Mark today is because I know people have options. And one of the options are they don't have to just live in an area now and work, because now people are working remotely. They can actually live anywhere. And Mark, you hit on so many different topics. We were talking about education. We're talking about work-life balance. So if a person does move from Louisiana, we got some of the best Cajun food here. It is so wonderful. What can a person receive if they move to Arizona outside of the real estate itself, but like a work-life balance? Because we're coming with family and we want to have a nice home, but what else is out there for entertainment, education? If I come with some small children, I want to make sure that there are some grade B or grade A schools to help my children. What's out? What does Arizona offer?
That's a great question. Arizona is actually, we're the 5th largest city in the nation. And for being a large city.
You're talking about Phoenix?
Phoenix, we are the safest location out of all the big cities to live.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, and our metropolitan produces a number of suburbs with great schools and communities. and we have such a thriving, we're number one in entrepreneurial activity in Arizona. There's so many new industries actually moving here to Arizona. There's so much construction and some of the suburb areas because Phoenix is just booming. You'll see our train going out. You probably haven't seen that since you've been here.
I saw pictures. Are you talking about that fast train?
Yeah,
Like
no, we're growing, and I mean there was a time when Phoenix didn't have the celebrities that would come out, the comedians who would come out. Now anything you can get in California, you can get here, and it's just cheaper. And like I said, there's tons of people rolling in from the Midwest, from the South, and of course from other larger cities because they're just learning that it's not as congested, and because we're more spread out, so you're going to get better quality of life. And Phoenix is, sorry to say, Phoenix is relatively clean compared to many of the other bigger cities. So some of these things matter when we're talking about raising a family. And there's so many new restaurants and nightlife that's springing up. Like one of my favorites is Harold's Chicken. We got Harold's now. So and you know that from being from Chicago. So
right. Yeah, you gotta let people know. Yeah, that's a Chicago deal there.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone's bringing their talents and their skills from all over. And I will tell people from Louisiana, there are fewer Louisiana food restaurants here. So if you want to move here, the market's here. Trust me, okay. I took my girlfriend out for a dinner the other day and at a Louisiana restaurant, but we only can go to like one.
So entrepreneurs, listen up. Hey, there's some opportunities over there in AZ. So many different cultures and so much is taking place. And I'm pretty sure the school system, they have schools of performance, school of arts. It's such a big variety that's going on out there. And you said you do offer the education aspect to educate the individuals, because if they are considering moving, these are some of the questions that individuals may have going on in Arizona.
Absolutely. I mean, the performing arts schools that we have, I mean, myself, I went to South Mountain High School. We had a mass media department where, just like you're doing, working on a radio station, we had that. So you could have done that, and same thing as far as television and Aerosmith. How many high schools offer to get your pilot's license by the time you graduate? Me, myself, I was in the law magnet. So, you get to really develop how you would develop your children and give them an opportunity that, sometimes we didn't always have. So.
Yeah, because I know I went out to Arizona and I'm down here in the South, of course. You all don't have any grass out there. So what's up with that?
You know what?
No grass, no trees. What's up?
I will tell you this. It's still a desert. It's a desert, and we're trying to conserve water, but we have beautiful desert landscapes. And if you want to, you can invest the money to have a beautiful desert landscape. So I mean, grass landscape is just, we're going to remind you to conserve water. But besides that, we have it's a very beautiful. I wouldn't compare it to anything different from California. So. And you're right. Down south, it's green. That's one thing I do know.
Yeah, you about right there. Yeah, allergies, a lot comes with it. But hey, let's keep on talking. Let's move forward. Keep on talking about Arizona. We're talking about, hey, if an individual is really thinking about relocating, because you're slowly developing and building a future for your children through wealth development, through wealth generation. And one of the main aspects of wealth generation is home ownership. So when a person actually purchases a home, how does home purchasing assist in wealth generation?
Well, for one, you stop wasting money. Can you imagine the money that you invest? I'll take an example. My brother, he's paying his house off in 15 years. I mean, he's so young. He's able to go ahead and invest for himself into income properties. And that opportunity is available here. That's not always available in other cities, and that's how you're never going to develop generational wealth owing everyone. So having the right lender, obviously, and that's when you talk to a good realtor, where you have a plan for your life. You know, I'll sit down with you and your wife or significant other, and we will talk about what interests you, what are you into do, and how do you want to develop your family's financial future? Because that's something that's big here. There's a number of seminars here. Like I said, Phoenix business is just booming here with aerospace, tech, bioscience. So the sky's the limit here, and really it's about the individual and their plan. And that's what I'd like to do, is kind of sit folks down and see what their plan is.
Okay, that's more than fair. So, man, we definitely hit on a lot here. We're talking about education, legacy, wealth generation. We're talking about a work-life balance. We're talking about opportunities that currently exist in Arizona, because when people hear Arizona, they definitely hear about Phoenix, but also people are hearing about Scottsdale, Sedona. So maybe some people have not heard about Sedona, because if I remember, over there in Sedona, they actually have snow over there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about Arizona that you don't get in many places. When you can be in one state, the one thing we don't have is a beach, but besides that, we have everything. I mean, the beautiful mountains and scenery. I mean, I get to go, and that's another thing about the weather. I can go hiking year long, but I can also change the weather and go up north to Flagstaff, Sedona, and get around the snow. I take my kids out and we shoot the bow and arrows. There's hunting here. There's fishing, and there's casinos too. But Vegas is only a few hours away. San Diego, I take a trip down there over the weekend, and you can be at the beach. So it's really centrally located for, like I said, a big city. It offers you so much when you come to Phoenix, Arizona. Again, what's best is always, obviously, when you move here, you want to talk to a good realtor so we can actually take you out. And what I like to do is send people information about communities and ask them questions, what they're looking for. What type of activities do you enjoy? Whether it's nightclubs, it's golfing. We have the famous PGA, waste management tour here. That is just incredible. The Fiesta Bowls with football. I mean, it's just a lively community here in Phoenix.
Yeah. I definitely hear you, and I appreciate that. You got me rethinking everything. So, hey, right now we're talking to Mark Bradford. He's a realtor over there in Arizona. He's an extended realtor that, hey, if you consider moving to the West, hey, reach out to him. Well, Mark, tell us, how can we get in contact with us? Get in contact with you.
Absolutely, yeah. You can just email me, bradfordrealestatesales@gmail.com. I keep it simple. That way you can always reach out to me, and my phone number, obviously, to my office is 480-270-1558. Reach out anytime. I answer my phone or an assistant. So we're going to make sure we get you taken care of, answer any questions you have. And obviously, it's no pressure. We just want to help people. We want to help you manage your transition and, of course, your family's future.
Now, let's talk about a couple more very vital tools when it comes to relocating. Now, I know some people may consider relocating, but they may not be settled. So if they reach out to you, they may be interested in real estate, but they're looking for a different career change or a transition in their current labor industry or work industry. So I know when I was out there in Arizona 20 years ago, I mean, literally, they had help wanted signs going up and down the roads. And I was told back then that Arizona was like the #1 place where call centers relocate, because they have, out of 356 days out of the year, practically you all have 99% of very great livable days of good weather, where every industry comes to Arizona. So, and the reason I bring that up, that there's opportunities for employment in Arizona.
There's more than opportunity. I mean, there's no other state that will offer you better employment opportunities. If you want a job, you can get one here. And we're one of the fastest growing economies in the country. And like I said, we have so many tech companies relocating here. We had a a tech company just relocate in Peoria and purchase a number of acres just for their relocation. And they're bringing over 136,000 jobs. I mean, the economy is booming here. Not only that, obviously, you know, when tech, bioscience moves here, that also increases the service industry opportunities. So that's also a big one because Arizona is also a big retirement state and tourist state. So if you want a job, you know, I see a lot of people, you know, I've traveled and you see places where not many people are working. That's not an issue here in Phoenix. Like I said, you know, 365, you can get out, have beautiful weather. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, once again, we're talking to Mark Bradford over there in Arizona. He's a realtor, and we're just trying to reach out. In the event if you're considering relocating, moving your family, you want a better community, hey, check out the Phoenix area. Phoenix, it's not only about Phoenix. They have maybe, what is it fair to say, they have 10 to 15 other surrounding cities and towns that are close
Absolutely.
by.
We're the 12th largest metropolitan in the country. So that includes Scottsdale. And it's basically a taste for whatever kind of community you want to live in. We have Gilbert, Mesa, Buckeye. Maricopa is just booming right now. I mean, my goodness, I never thought I would see Maricopa grow like that. But we have so many, Avondale, Goodyear's a beautiful one. And these metropolitan areas also offer a great suburban life for those, especially those relocating, because since the pandemic, as you know, many people have been offered to just stay at home and work. So this is a beautiful place about relocating, is that the job opportunities here, but also the housing is far more affordable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mark, I sure appreciate it. I'm gonna give you the last few words to definitely inform the people how to get in contact with you, and give you the last couple of minutes to share whatever it is you want to share with the people when it comes to home buying or anything about the real estate industry.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Again, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Mark Bradford Realtor, and Century 21 Arizona Foothills, Bradford Real Estate Sales at gmail.com, 480-270-1558. Reach out to me. The thing about real estate that I would always advise people is to talk with a realtor that cares, because your money is, you know, I spend your money. I think about your money as if it was mine. So you want somebody who cares about you holistically, not just looking for the deal. So that's where we bring in my package partners for purchasing and selling, where we work with vendors, you know, on getting you qualified, you know, from beginning to end. So it doesn't matter what circumstance you may find yourself. Obviously, Century 21 Arizona Foothills is the place you want to go.
Hey, I just thought of something. One more thing before we jump off the line, Mark. What if someone is considering moving to Arizona, but they're in transition? Are there, does Century 21 offer anything, maybe like a relocation or something, where they can assist them in finding temporary housing up until a home is built, or up until they select a home?
You know what? We have our Century 21 Arizona Foothills has an entire department dedicated to relocation services. I wouldn't hesitate. Any question you may have in relocating, get in contact with me. We can help you. You don't have to do this on your own. That's what we're here for. We're their experts. Let us help you with that relocation from beginning to end. So all you have to do, like I said, I'm working with clients right now in Minnesota. I've been sending them homes and giving them assistance, job assistance, all these things that, you know, again, Phoenix still, it's a big city, but we have that hometown feel. So we'll be here to help.
All right. Hey, I sure appreciate you, Mark. Thanks again for spending some time with us here on our
Thanks for having me.
radio station, the voice of the community.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.